Ladies and gents, welcome in to our third live stream now. Day 3 of the FIFA World Cup, and some very, very interesting matchups here for us to dive into today. It's the Netherlands, it's Japan. We've got a double header today. Later on, the Ivory Coast and Ecuador face off. But this one is going to be for those footballing fans. Japan, who everyone loves watching, they've beaten some of the biggest teams in world football, including England most recently. They're into this tournament on some fantastic form. We'll get into that a little bit later on. Let's go look at the starting lineups for this one. For the Netherlands, Barbara Bruggen passed that fitness test. He starts in goal. Mickey van der Ven, the left back. Virgil van Dijk and John-Paul van Hacker, an all-Premier League centre-half partnership. The new Real Madrid man, Denzel Dumfries at right back. Dejani Reinders of Manchester City in midfield, alongside Frankie de Jong and Ryan Gravenberch. And up top, Cody Gakpo on the left. Crescencio Somerville of West Ham United on the right. And Donyell Malen, after 14 goals in 15 appearances for Roma, he starts up top for the Dutch. And then looking at Japan, it's Zion Suzuki in goal of Parma, Ito, Taguchi, and Watanabe at the back. Richie Doan of Frankfurt as the right wing back. It's Nakamura, the left wing back. Sano and Daichi Kamada in midfield. Takafuso Kuba alongside Daisen Maeda in the number 10. And then Ueda leads the line. Big focus on Kubo. Big focus on Ritsu Doan. I have to look at the most dangerous in this side here, but we mustn't forget about Daisen Maeda. Fantastic season with Celtic, and in the end, scored that goal that won them the Scottish Premier League. Everything is in readiness now. Germany just beat Curacao 7-1. Can one of these teams replicate that sort of dominance in this game here? Massive stadium in Dallas. The countdown is on. Seconds away for this one being kicked off. And we are underway here in Dallas. It's the Netherlands in their striking highlights are orange from left to right. It's Japan in their traditional blue from right to left. Japan, many think, may be one of those teams that are dark horse of this tournament. They might go deep. And a lot of questioning if the Dutch can keep up their lofty standards of recent campaigns. These two met in the 2010 World Cup finals. And that result was the start of something special for the Dutch. They went to the final of that campaign, hoping they can do something as remarkable this time around as well. Japan, 4-time quarter-finalists, never made it past that mark, and I hope this tournament is something different, as they've beaten sides like Germany and England in recent times, and look to try and do the same here to the Dutch. A few shocks yesterday, including the biggest of all, us Aussies getting the victory over Turkey. So Japan can believe. The Dutch are there for the taking. They're not the Dutch of old. They're very vulnerable at the back, not the most potent front line. And dangers like Doan and Kubo and Maeda can cause problems for this Dutch side. It is Frankie de Jong. Japan were almost flawless in the Asian qualifying. Looked a class above most teams in that campaign. And I think there's a lot of excitement about this side and how they'll be able to match up and tactically stay solid without the football, keep the Dutch going from left to right and not make any forward progress. That's sort of what they'll be all about. It is an out-and-out 5 back without the football. They'll become a 3 when they have the ball, but again, it's what we saw yesterday with Australia versus Turkey. The Asian brilliance without the football, I think we'll call it. Gakpo, Richard Doan out to face him. Kubo doubles in. Ball into Donyell Malen. Swivels Malen! Oh, what a save from Zion Suzuki. Fantastic piece of centre-forward play. Gakpo fizzes it into him, holds up the ball very, very well, and does really well to turn. Taniguchi could never really get that foot in the way. Fabulous reaction save from Zion Suzuki. So the Dutch are the first to actually crowd the keeper this tournament I've seen. Reinders, dealt with by the Japanese backline. They're going to be severely undermanned in terms of the height at the back there, especially from set plays. Looks pretty central at the keeper. If he picks any corner there, Donyell Malen, it's probably 1-0 to the Dutch. It's an all Serie A matchup there, though, in Donyell Malen and Zion Suzuki. Somerville. Malen, oh. Gee, looked dangerous there as well. It might not be the biggest names for the Dutch, but this side looks, in the early moments, like it's willing to run. It's willing to take the game on and play expressive. That's what was, I think, stereotypical about them in the last Euros, and what made me and many others fall in love with that side was how attackingly orientated they were. Here's Dumfries. I've woken up this morning to the news that Marco Correa might be off the Real Madrid as well. So there could be a whole new bunch of signings at Real Madrid, including Denzel Dumfries. He's looking like he's had that release clause finally activated of 25 million euros. Great foot in there from Gravenberch. Runs out of space though. Here come the Japanese. Daichi Kamada. Nakamura. Away from Mickey van der Ven and fouled. That's what the Japanese will want. Transitional play. Winning the ball off turnover and striking quickly. Early mistake there from the Dutch, and chance for the first warning shot to be fired by Japan. It's Takefusa Kubo and Daichi Kamada over this set play. You'd expect Kubo's left-footed outswinger. Kamada deep, very deep. Flag in the end goes up. A little bit more pace in that ball in from Kamada if they want to cause any sorts of problems. But again, they're fighting and punching above their weight here with the size of the Dutch defenders. They've got Mickey van der Ven as a left back there as well. So much size. There's Hajime Moriyasu, the Japanese manager. Some football royalty. Schneider in. It's a foul midfield. Here comes Japan now. 7 minutes past in this one. Fantastic early save from Zion Suzuki. Ball in. Oh, gee. Tell by Virgil van Dijk. Nakamura. Too many step overs in the end. It's a crossfield pass by Kamada, and he overhit that one there, and no one was keen to go and chase it in. The Japanese just working into this one. Bright start made by the Netherlands first, but right now it is Japan who are on the front foot. It's got to be a real seesawing type affair, you'd assume. Gakpo with the first contact. Hooked away by Taniguchi. And you see how the Dutch build. Do they use the flanks? Do they play centrally? It's a really, really strong midfield trio of Frankie de Jong, Tijani Reinders, and Ryan Gravenberg, who's allowed more license to get further forward. The Liverpool is more of a 6, he's more of a holder, but with Frankie de Jong there, he's allowed to push on and accompany and support that front line. As you can see the real overall game of Ryan Gravenberg and see the complete package. Obviously, he scored that beautiful goal in one of the last games of the Premier League season versus Chelsea. Speaking of Liverpool, there's Virgil van Dijk. Now with Crescencio Somerville. A lot of Premier League talent amongst his squad. 2 Brighton players in the starting 11. 3 Liverpool stars in there as well. A West Ham United player. Manchester City player and a Tottenham Hotspur player in there. Got a Barcelona man and a newly acquitted Real Madrid man as well. Here's Virgil van Dijk now. It's a long pass and asking a lot of Cody Gakpo. That ball out of play. Dress up designs in full force for the Japanese fans. The referee not happy with how the Dutch have a committee into the box here, so we're going to start again. Suzuki. Looking for Maeda, but Virgil van Dijk won that battle. Aito. Nakamura. Nakamura can come away now. They've beaten that initial Dutch press. Here's Richard Doan. And applying his trade in Germany for Eintracht Frankfurt. Perennial overachievers, Japan, in recent times, but have never made the semi-finals. So there's a real belief in this squad, and they can do it now. Maeda beat Dumfries to it. Van Acker got in the way. Nakamura there now. Sano. Here is Kubo, the main man for Japan. Doan. Going to fizz one in. Virgil van Dijk can get it away. And Taniguchi quite comfortably back there on Suzuki in goal. So the Dutch not overly aggressive in their press to start this game off. I see it was such a key part of their Euro campaign is their ability to press and win the ball back. Saw them on the way to the semi-finals, where Ollie Watkins' goal ended up halting that really, really impressive run. But as you can see in the crowd today, the Orange Army travels in force. Almeida let that run, but Frankie de Jong read it. So here come the Dutch in transition. Reinders. Gakpo was the pass he wanted. Gakpo couldn't reach it. And again, Japanese quite comfortable in the football. They've had large portions of it in the early moments. Almost 50% possession in the early knockings of this one here. Watanabe. Here is Aito. Got a few champions in this Japanese side. Here is one of them, Dyson Maeda. Blocked behind by Dumfries for the Japanese first corner. They're always running behind. They always cause problems in that sort of location. Someone that's so tricky and skillful. Maeda. And I said, he's one of those champions. Also got Dachi Kamada. He won the UEFA Conference League with Crystal Palace. Ball into the back post. Van de Ven there to clean that one up. Dutch can't really get out at the moment. Kamada. Nakamura. Kubo. Into the channel. Tanaguchi. And that was a chance again. This time the Datsun Maeda. Referee's given a goal kick. Massive sliding challenge coming in there. And Paul Van Acker in the way. Good area duel one there. Man, Watanabe. The Japanese are on it. First 5 minutes, you'll give it to the Dutch, but since then, Japan have been on the front foot. They've been creating chances as well. They haven't just been possessing for possession's sake. And that's so far in all the games we've watched here in the channel. Each team has had a real intent, especially in the first 45, to, on the football, make something happen. Not just keep it because they want to keep it. Some might say the difference has been club and international football. Some might say the condition of the World Cup sort of make for that with the heat and the fatigue. Some might say that just is the quality of this campaign. That ball's come off Doman and out of play, so it'll be a Dutch story just past halfway. This massive stadium here in Dallas. Come for Van Acker now. De Jong. Flick around the corner from Gravenberg. Never found someone in orange. But Japan repel as far as Virgil van Dijk. Here's Crescencio Somerville. Such a dangerous X-Factor type player. And you're seeing that there. Skips past Maeda. Looks to thread in Denzel Dumfries, but across comes Aito. That rigid team-like defence. Just asked England about it. That 1-0 victory at Wembley a month or so ago was a prime example of that. A great counter-attack, solid defence. And that was how they broke down the three lines. The Dutch are going to have to be wary. They have to have their wits about them. Because the Japanese transition is some of the best. Virgil van Dijk now. Just past the quarter of an hour played. Still 0-0. Biggest chance coming in the early moments is Daniel Marlin's turn and shot. As well signed by Zion Suzuki. The cross well dealt with. And Kuba got himself out of trouble. Here's Doan. Trying to nick it past Frankie de Jong, and despite his remonstrations, the linesman says it'll be a Japanese throw. IT now formerly of Bayern Munich. Taniguchi. Doan. Fed the ball in to Daichi Maeda. He looked trying to return the favour, but Frankie de Jong in the way, and fantastic footwork to get out of danger. Gravenberg. Marlon on the swivel. Now feeding Gakpo. This is where the Dutch look dangerous. Gakpo to Marlon. Couldn't get his feet sorted. That Japanese backline did its job once again. But that's a worrying sign. The Dutch can get their head down and get moving. Frankie de Jong again. And Japan side in their structure, in their shape, and now it's going to be hard for the Dutch to break them down. De Jong. Reinders. Finding Cody. Let's try and Gravenberg there. Van Ecker. Somerville. De Jong. Dutch moving from left to right, but unable to pierce this Japanese backline. That ball looks good. Van der Ven looked to the return ball of Gakpo. Able to find him. And then bullied Kubo out the football. I'm on the throw back. So the Dutch remain on the front foot. Van der Ven deputising a left back in this side. Reinders. It'll be him or Frankie de Jong that's going to break down this Japanese low block. Their skill, their expertise. That's what they'll be looking towards. Gakpo. The Dutch have packed the box, 4 or 5 numbers in there. For Japan, they're getting deeper and deeper, sitting in the edge of their own area right now. It's important that they get out and get challenges in. We've seen there for Nakamura. The deeper you sit, the more confidence the Dutch will build, and the more likely something can happen. Mistake, spaced for the Dutch to operate into. It is their structure. It is the way they play their football against these bigger sides. But I think the key, which I always mention, is balance. Got to have balance. The pass fizzed in too hard to Reinders, and his touch got away from him. Mickey van der Ven holding off Kubo. Oh, nutmeg from Gakpo, but couldn't get away from the second challenge. Doan can come away with it. Japan back on the football. They needed that. It was a good little spell there from the Dutch. 3 or 4 minutes of sustained, dangerous possession. But surprisingly, no quick press to try and win the ball back. Aito. Nakamura. Now Adachi coming up. He'll look to dictate from deep. pull the strings for this Japanese side and play one of those defense-splitting passes. Will be that heartbeat to the counter-attack. Doan. Kobo was the option, and that's time for a quick drink. Take a quick break as well over this way. We'll be back in a minute's time for the second half of the first half. All right, ladies and gents, we are back. Just a minute away now after this drink's break to get back underway. Interesting first 20 or so minutes. Thought we would have a really open game at the start with the way the game got kicked off, but this has sort of calmed back down to what I thought this game would turn out to be, which is cagey, tactical, a real battle in there, man-to-man, all over the park. These two teams are very organised, two great managers in charge of them. The Japanese haven't gotten where they are by being over-expansive and expressive. They've gotten into this position by being calculated, solid without it, and more importantly, tough to beat. And they will look to pounce on any half chance they get, any opportunity to get transitional play. Whereas for the Dutch, they started well. And that chance for Donyell Malen inside of the opening 5 minutes was probably their best look they've had. They've had the breakdown, obviously, is incredibly tough to beat low block. But you've got players like Frankie de Jong, and you've got players like Tajani Reinders, and runners like Crescencio Somerville and Cody Gakpo. That reality is there. They can do that. I don't think it's necessarily that warm in Dallas because the big dome I'm pretty sure they have on the stadium. But I think now it's become legislation for this World Cup. You have to take the drinks break. It's almost like a quarter-time interval instead of a half-time. Great return to Richard Doan. He made the throw. Here come the Dutch other way, though. Donyell Malen leading the counter. Challengers flying in aplenty. Eventually won back by the Japanese side on the halfway line. Doan, he's playing wing back for this side, but it's been more known for his attacking output and the work he does on the football, especially at like Frankfurt. That's such attacking side they've got. Ball around the corner. Datsumaeda, of course, is chasing that one in. Van Ecke backpedaling. Header in to Kamada. It's a lofted ball that lacked a lot of power, so Mickey Van der Ven was comfortably able to get that one clear. Once again, though, Kamada on it. Almost becomes a makeshift centre-half when they had the football. Daichi Kamada. Because the two centre-halves become full-backs and the wing-backs are really high up the pitch, as you can see here by Doan. Sano. Great noise in the Dallas Arena. Nakamura. Dumfries keeping close contact with him. Hit a chance now. Aito. Hanako away. Kamada. Sano. Again, the Dutch are forced to go deeper. Fizzed in ball. Is this the chance? Nakamura. Oh, he wasted the opportunity, it felt like. And then Aito just blazed over. The ball fell to the wrong man, it felt like. Really good link up, though, by the Japanese. Ball fizzed in from the right. Great layoff. I think it was by Ueda there. To Nakamura, who's the left wing back today. You feel if that gets laid off to Kubo or that's Maeda, that's a first time shot and probably the back of the net. Just took a little bit too long on it, Nakamura. And the chance had gone by the time he'd taken his second touch. Another chance of warning shot towards the Dutch. He had their most recent loss against Algeria in those warm-up matches, and that was a worrying sign. Van Dijk, Gakpo, hugging the left touchline. Gakpo squeezed that one through to Mickey van der Ven. The great turn of pace. Ball into the box that no one could react to first. That's sort of the action you think the Dutch will need to get behind this Japanese rear guard. Crescencio Somerville now. The ever tricky, the ever dynamic. With a turn away from Daichi Kamada. That's a London battle there. Palace versus West Ham. Jean-Paul Van Acker. Gakpo. Miners with a dink pass, looking for Denzel Dumfries. He's, like he does at Inter Milan, gets hung up the pitch. Basically a right winger. Gakpo. Deep ball. Dumfries the header. And header back onto the top of the netting. Always hard at the pitch, Denzel Dumfries. Look at him here. He's actually further forward than the right winger himself, Crescencio Somerville. He has that license. Has that freedom to go and play further forward. Not just as a wing back for the Inter Milan side, but as a right back for this Dutch outfit. Marlon picks up the scraps. Sort of 50-50 loose balls and transitional actions, which the Dutch will look at as their avenue to goal, because once the Japanese get in this sort of setting, they just look too good, Japan, in this low block. Somerville. De Jong. The Japanese fans continue to make all the noise. Their side continues to hum. It is a very solid rear block in. The Dutch are forced just to ponder and probe. In the end, that's a mistake from Gakpo. And it'll be a Japanese throw. They are doing it together right now, Japan. It's going to be one of the worst matchups I think to have right now in world football is Japan. So hard to break down this rigid structure. No matter what you try, no matter who you've got. They're not easily broken. Gakpo. Lofted in. Marlon again the target. Not the biggest of options. But will throw his body around in there. Dumfries. The Dutch are all within 30 yards of their own goal, it feels like right now. Gakpo trying to chop inside. Not given the license and the space like he was at the previous World Cup in 2022, where had a fantastic tournament for the Dutch. Dumfries. Somehow goes on the underlapping run. Marlon. First touch got away from him. Kamada out of trouble. Or he thought he was. Then lost out to Marlon. And here's the Dutch. Marlon. Taniguchi got in the way. Important intervention there by the Japanese big centre half. Because just for a moment, Kamada got his feet muddled. Thought he left it for Maeda, and Marlon came away with it. All of a sudden, that half inch of space, that slight error almost opened up the chance for the Netherlands. Tijani Randers with a right-footed outswinger. The Dutch are all now lined up on the edge of the area. The ball in from Reinders. Great header. Suzuki again had to make the save. Second ball in. Oh, Mickey van der Ven heads over. Suzuki with his second important intervention of this match. Came off Daniel Marlon in the end. And the Roma centre forward. Denied by the Palmer goalkeeper. There's the Dutch threat on display. And once again, you win the ball at the pitch. Got to go quicker than this. That's their chance to get at this rigid side. Frankie de Jong now. Reinders. You see more of him in the football. He's the type of player, the archetype that they want to get the ball to. Against a side like Japan. Some of them wanted a handball. And we'll get it. Free kick for Tijani Reinders. Chance to get something into the area. They've got so much height in there. Van Acker, Van Zijl, Van der Ven, Dumfries, Gravenberg. This is a chance for the Dutch. Dangerous whipped in ball. Attacked. A cancel. Gakpo on the stretch. Couldn't keep the shot down. It's blasted up into the second and third tiers here at Dallas. Great attack at the back post there by Daniel Dumfries to head it back into a dangerous area. And when it's that type of action, if you're a defensive side, you just got to hope that someone's there. Watanabe just lining those laces. Interesting ball by Suzuki. It made it almost impossible for Doan to control. Ball again in favour of the Dutch. Here's Virgil van Dijk coming to the final moments here of this first half. It's been a slower first half, all about tactics and structure. So far, nothing to separate the two sides. De Jong. Van Dijk with a crossfield ping. Taken down beautifully by Crescencio Somerville. Nakamura out to reach him. Twisting one way, then the next. Chopping back inside. The layoff for Denzel Dumfries was almost perfectly disguised, but the former Inter Milan man couldn't take it in his stride. But again, I think Crescencio Somerville has to stay on. Every time he gets the football, he's looking to take the game on and take on this Japanese backline. And one way to beat a low block is just to dribble through it. He has the ability to do so. Well, there's these quotes that go around all the time of, doesn't matter how much possession you have, you don't score goals with possession. I think Japan are reinforcing that message here. Possession doesn't mean everything. They're happy to sit without the football, happy to deny the Dutch and pounce on any transitional actions or mistakes the Dutch make. Van der Ven, Cody Gakpo. Japan with the rare case of springing the press on these dominant Dutch players so far is Denzel Dumfries. It's blocked away by Datsun Maeda. So back into play. Jean-Paul Van Acker. Last 5 minutes of this first half. Can't imagine much stoppage time will be had outside of what we stopped for the drinks. Somerville. We've had multiple goals in every game so far. We've had a lot of first half goals in this tournament as well. This one's struggling to get going. We might get our first game this tournament. It isn't the open 2 or more goal type game. Gakpo. Van Acker. Gravenberch. Haven't seen much of him in terms of the forward regions and attacking actions. Van Dijk's giving it away. One well in midfield. Here comes Maeda. Sees 3 orange jerseys, but so feeds in Nakamura. He's far left. Somerville out to meet him. Nakamura gets the ball in, which went out of play to do so. So a rare flurry forward for Japan comes to a halt. So possession versus rear guard. That has sort of been the name of the game so far. As Japan actually back on the football here, but both sides really not wanting to press. Happy to sit in their structure. Obviously the Dutch's line's much higher than the Japanese defensive line, but both haven't really gone to press yet. And we know what the Japanese and the Dutch can do in terms of their pressing and their energy. It's almost like both teams are happy to get into the half-time interval. Japan have walked it up here. Nakamuchi. Doan. Tanaguchi again. Kubo. They're going to associate a man. They have a present for Japan and always one of their first names in their team sheet in terms of his ability to make something happen. Here's a chance for Japan. The cutback's on. Nakamura! Oh, flashes it past the near post. And Japan almost in a flash. Went from first gear to fifth gear. Just pulled the strike a little bit. First touch was sensational. The second one not as good. But might have had Marve Bruggen beaten. It was Watanabe once again that got further forward to get that ball in. The Dutch, despite all their possession, have not had the better of the chances, it feels like. It's sort of been split. Japan have created some good opportunities with their possession, able to get in behind, in particular in the wide spaces. They overload out there with the wing back and winger. And centre half's pushing further forward, and that's a stinger. It's Kubo that's been fouled. The Liga battle between Sociedad and Barcelona there. Frankie de Jong. Kamada. That's a dangerous ball. Ueda! Ooh. Side netting. Again, chance and nothing. Too much space. Van Dijk's standing too far off Ueda. He sees the run. He sees the ball. But never able to truly get near him. Now the Japanese fans rise in voice again. They're in fine voice, and their team are in fine form. Defending well, attacking beautifully. Got 3 minutes of stoppage time to play. Another mistake for the Dutch in a forward region. Van Ven battling away there, and a challenge flying in. And Crescencio Somerville. And the frustration building here for the Dutch. Some aggressive challenges going in. Cody Gakpo, Doan. Had to meet him. Here's Daniel Marlin. Always a dangerous threat. Doan has the back pedal. Ball fizzed in. Tanaguchi got it away. Upheld as far as Frankie de Jong. Again, nice, compact, deep, and structured here for the Japanese. Somerville chopping inside. Finding Virgil van Dijk. Now Cody Gakpo. De Jong. Japanese so well placed. Not even a long shot is on here. Van Ecke turning away from Nakamura. And his pass has been deflected out of play. So it'll be a Dutch corner kick right at the end here of the first half. We've played 2 of 3 stoppage time minutes. And again, the Dutch all line up on the edge of the area. Around his out swing area. Can he find someone in orange? Yes, he can. With a header for Marlon. Had a lot of the sting taken out of it. Suzuki can easily catch. That should take us to the half-time interval. So that is that. An interesting and intriguing first half. Competitive and battlefield would be the word I'd choose. Daniel Man with a big chance in the early moments of the first 5 minutes. A turn and shot that had Suzuki having to make a good reaction save. From there, Japan had a few half chances, a few shots on goal. So great transitional moments. The Dutch have had a lot of the football, but had nothing with it. Japan's structure, solid as ever. It's 0-0 at half-time. This game can definitely, though, come alive. I feel like it's teetering here. It's simmering. And it could come to a boil very soon. I'll be going for just over 10 minutes for the half-time interval. We'll be back for second half action very, very shortly. Alrighty, guys, we are back. Second half action, seconds away. Here we go. It was a battle first half. Let's get going here for the second half. Japan gets kicked off. They're kicking from left to right in the second half in that blue strip. The Orange Army from right to left. It's been a cagey tactical battle first half. Can we get something a little bit more exciting, a little bit more open in the second 45? One ball there for Bart Verbruggen. Reinders, Gravenberg. And that's the pass for Crescencio Summerville. He's in behind. It's the moment. Well dealt with in the end. Watanabe. The important touch. Reinders. Might have been a touch of offside there, but Summerville's turn of speed is unreal. Gravenberg trying to pass into a wall of blue. Got the challenge in though, so the Dutch keep the ball. Already in a minute, they look a little bit more potent. Summerville. The Japanese have to keep their wits about them here. Dumfries. Marlon. Left it short. Japan can come away with it now. And Sano runs into trouble and out of play. Craig Gakpo, as always, chopping inside. Getting on that right foot of his. I feel like it's going to take a moment of brilliance for someone like him or Summerville. The wide spaces for me are going to be their avenues to goal. They can get 1v1 out there. That's the problem. Oh, poor fizz across the box. From Gravenberg. No one wanted it, though. That was a dangerous cross. Probably too much power on it, but there was no one there to put it on. No Marlon, no Gakpo. Reinders was there as well, but couldn't get the most of that. Great start, though, for the second half for the Dutch. Almost how they started the first. On the front foot and creating chances. Watanabe. Got back and made some important defensive interventions in that first 45, that back three. And the wing-backs have been solid. That crossfield pass has gone out of play, so we a Dutch throw. We're taking my Denzel Dumfries. Dumfries with the throw. Flicked on by Summerville. Marlon battling away. Once again, aerial ball won by Dumfries. It's come off the Dutch there. Aitsu. Ueda was the out ball. Overhit and Verbruggen can collect. De Jong on the turn. And wait for that initial Japanese press. Gravenberg. Virgil van Dijk. So for the Liverpool men getting on the football. Here's the other Liverpool man, Cody Gakpo. Battling with Doan and being fouled by Doan. And a dangerous set piece situation. Left-hand side of the box here. Just nicked the ball past him and then Doan just got in the way. Play for the free kick. Both of them, actually. So Reinders have another dead ball. Attacking those Dutch fans behind the goal. Referee having some talkings to here. The Dutch need a goal. This is their moment to strike. Set plays and set pieces. Japan have defended so solidly throughout. Reinders. First contact was dealt with by Maeda. And once again, the Japanese hold strong. Second action here for Ryan Gravenberg. Van Dijk! What a header goal! And the skipper again. Is there to make a difference? You need a clutch goal. Virgil van Dijk's there again. And the Orange Army find voice. And they have lift off this World Cup in Dallas. Through Virgil van Dijk. It's been Dutch domination on the football. But haven't done it on the scoreboard as of yet. But finally, they find a way through. They find some space in and around the box. And it's the second action. It gets reset out to Ryan Gravenberg. He's onside. And used his strength to push off Watanabe. And then what a pinpoint header. Off the upright. And into the back of the net. And the Dutch delight. They're up. And it had to be Virgil van Dijk, didn't it? This man continues to set the standard for his club side Liverpool and for his national team in the Netherlands. Minute to the Dutch. Now Japan have to go chase this one. Dream start for the Dutch the second half. And in Dallas they lead. Just look at it here. He just slips in between a few defenders there, Virgil van Dijk, and gets on the shoulder. And once you're on the shoulder, if you get the right delivery in, like he got, nice and strong, push it off. Watanabe. And then in the end, for him and his standards, an easy headed finish. The Japanese have worked so hard, but undone by the second action of a set play. It always felt like either that or a mistake would have given the Dutch the lead because they were defending so well in open play, Japan. How they respond now, though. Can they find a balance between playing and getting at this Dutch side, whilst also not keeping them too exposed at the back? De Jong. Here's the goal scorer, Virgil van Dijk. Van Akker. Now the Dutch can sort of go into cruise control. Once again, the Japanese are happy to sit. Van Akker's pass was loose, so Zion Suzuki can pick that one up. The 13th Netherlands goal for the skipper, Virgil van Dijk. One of the best headers of football in the world game right now. It's a loose pass. And Van Dijk wins it up the pitch. This was going to have to happen now. The Japanese side's going to have to take some risks. With and without the football. There's more chances for the Dutch transitionally to enforce a press and catch them out. I want a second here. Though the Netherlands, most sides of this tournament, have won 2-0 and have taken that goal difference advantage further forward in the tournament. Maybe not as important in this one here, considering these two probably the two best sides in this group, but you never know in these tournaments who rocks up on their day and causes problems. Do you want that goal difference? You want the boost. You want the importance of finishing top and facing a potentially third place finisher. Dumfries. Bart Verbruggen. Dutch once again. Line share possession. Full in their way. 71% of the football. That was their first big chance, their 5th shot on goal. That finally led to the most important stat, which is the big one on screen, 1-0. 3 times the amount of passes. And almost triple the amount of final third entries. Here's Crescencio Samuel with the cutbacks on. Just behind Daniel Marlin. Once again, dangerous in behind. Samuel has been that guy so far in this game. Threat for them in 1v1 actions. Threat for them in the over-top ball. Here's a header there. Just a fantastically cushioned header from Virgil van Dijk. Oh. Lost the connection. With me here. Just for a moment. Worrying scenes. Back on track. Oh, it's in! Japan are level! And it's Nakamura that pulled them level. What a time! What a goal for Japan! It came out of nothing. But they equalise in Dallas. Wow. What a well-taken effort. And that is what we know Japan to be in the Asian qualifiers. That ball's onside there. Takafusa Kuba makes the run in behind. Hands the ball out to Nakamura. Mate is onside. Van der Ven plays Maida onside. So even if he does touch it, it'll stand. No, it's off. I think it's off Jean-Paul Van Acker. It matters little though. Japan are level. What a hit from Nakamura. And game on now in Dallas. 2 goals in quick time. And after, I guess you can say, a bit of a snooze fest in the first 45, we've got game on here in the second. After the Dutch thought they had the foothold in this game after scoring first, Japan will equalise in the blink of an eye. They've got to go again here, the Dutch. Tick towards the hour mark. 1 apiece now. Long throw. Nakamura, the goal scorer, heads away. Big bat to be won there. One that went the Dutch's way. Van Dijk fighting. And that should be a corner kick. And it will be. Once again, a corner kick spells trouble for Japan, the size of the Dutch. Right, this is out swing up. Low fizzer. Not quite fully dealt with. Kubo can drive Japan away and get the ball through. And Somerville forced to take down Watanabe. And that will be the first yellow card of the matchup. Swipe through with that right leg and halted the Japan counter-attack. So it happens in these types of games. Japan, who are sitting in and becoming too pessimistic, concede, forced to come on the front foot, and then look better for it. They've scored one and they look like they want to score a second. Undoubtedly, the talent is there. Just got to use it in the right way. Kubo. Dealt by Van Acker. Nakamura again. Daichi Kamada. Crossfield pass. Nakamura keeps that in play. Ball in the channel for Doan. Cutback is there for Maeda. It's at the top of him. And a late challenge from Kubo on Somerville. The Dutch out of trouble. Van Acker got a touch on it. He's flying past Bart Verbruggen and look at the Japanese faithful. Van der Ven's throw. Back to Virgil van Dijk. It very much is game on here in Dallas. Van Acker into the feet of Ryan Gravenberg. Gets out of trouble beautifully. Somerville. The overlap of Dumfries. Somerville! Splendid! A Somerville sensational strike. Special for the Dutchman. And his World Cup Finals debut. That is a beauty. Into the far left-hand corner. And he's been on the brink of this all game long. Little cut inside, gets past the man, and that curling effort, placed to perfection, in off the upright. They've had 2 goals coming off the upright now, the Dutch. That is stunning. A stunning Somerville screamer. And he goes over the Ruud van Nistelrooy, the great centre forward, to celebrate. What a second half. We've got 3 goals in 13 minutes. He's played such a good game so far, Somerville. (1978) is the last time the Dutch lost after scoring first. That's a stat that's just gone through. That's a large part of history Japan are going to overhaul here. Banaka, some great goals here in the second half. Once again, Crescentia Somerville, it's the advertising once again of him in a good side. If he's in a top team, I think he becomes one of the most dangerous footballers in the world. The Dutch come again. It's Cody Gakpo. Dominates the back pedal. Gakpo puts him on the floor. Gakpo still. Oh, Aitso in the way. And the flag is up. Always searching for that right foot, Cody Gakpo. The Japanese knew that. Marginally offside. That's made off. And Ito on. Junior Ito. Paddling away in there. Kubo. Oh! Wow. That's what he's got in his locker. A little rocket from 20 yards plus out. Wow. Short back lift. Rocketed. Fortunately, always rising. After all that, it's time for a drink. Wow. Take a breath. What's a crazy 13 minutes. Netherlands led to Virgil van Dijk. Japan got back into the game through Nakamura's goal. I think Crescentia, some people said, whatever you can do, I can do better. And a fantastic finish up the upright. 2-1 Netherlands over Japan. I'll take a quick minute break here during the hydration break. And we're back for the final quarter of this game. Alrighty, it's over 30 seconds away from the restart here. Hasn't this been an excitement fest? This World Cup has delivered on so many levels on the footballing side of things. Goals are plenty. We've got goals today as well. Off the back of an 8-goal game earlier between Curacao and Germany, which the Germans won 7-1. Pardon me, sorry. Scotland and Haiti, the only game that has remained a single goal. Every other game has seen multiple scorers. And after the hydration break, we got some substitutions. Daniel Marlin making way to allow Cody Gakpo on. Charles Koopmeiners as well. And one of the Timber brothers, Quinton Timber, coming on as well. Somerville off though. It's a questionable substitution for Tion Koopmeiners. He's probably the worst 2 years of any footballer on the planet. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but Tion Koopmeiners is the opposite of what Crescencio Somerville is. Kubo thought he was fouled. Referee thought otherwise. Koopmeiners. Depay losing out there. Japan coming the opposite way. 20 minutes to go in this one. So they're coming together with knees there. Kubo just testing out that knee after that coming together. Back underway here. Doan around the corner. Looking for Ueda, but they're going to win out versus Virgil van Dijk. Could have him bet. Van de Ven. Now with Frankie de Jong. Devilish ball over the top. Looking for Cody Gakpo, who can rein that ball in. And Gakpo chopping inside. Gakpo! Trying to beat Suzuki at his near post. The stereotypical Gakpo chopping on the left-hand side onto the right foot. This time, though, he went the near post rather than the far post. Tight angle. So Memphis on this corner kick. The head-banded man. Back post the option. Van Hecke with a quite timid header in the end. And Suzuki can quite comfortably catch. Here's Kamada. Here's see more of him on the football. If Japan were really successful, they continue to play with 10 because Kubo is down now on the far side, receiving medical attention. So Japan might want to swing a substitution in the near future. Trying to chase a game with 10 men just seems unnecessarily difficult. Doan. Back with Doan. Little slipped in ball. A massive chance to Mickey van der Ven. Watanabe's sore after that one there. Again, the centre half pushing on over the outside. Doan will make way. Ogawa and Sugawara on. And Watanabe making way also. And Takefusa Kubo. So Tomiyasu, Ogawa and Sugawara on. That's a worrying sign for Japan if Takefusa Kubo is injured for the near future or not. But at the moment, they've got a corner kick. Caught it out of play. Aito. Have a hit. There's a first-time effort. Well and truly over the crossbar by Nakamura. So Nakamura, 57th minute, responding to Van Dijk in the 51st, but then Somerville responding to that in the 64th minute. Great open second half here. Touch on Timber. Coop Miners. Able to get any power on that effort. Suzuki launching that ball some distance. It's a long ball and a hard ball to deal with for Van Acker. Here's a booming kick from the Palmer and Japanese number one. Kamada wins that duel. Miners with him every step of the way. Found his play with the referee. Aito. With Tomiyasu now. Here is Aito. Sugawara. Tomiyasu. Aito now. Japan building on the right-hand side. It's a decent delivery, but no one was that deep. Japan keep it alive. Well done by Aito. Wins authority for his side. As Japan continue to press in search for an equaliser. A second one of today. Tomiyasu again, feeding Aito, who's charging inside. Sugawara's ball. Oh! You hate it through his body at that. Rado has to head that behind. Japan have a moment here. They've got some momentum. They're on the front foot. Aito. De Jong in the way there, denying Sugawara that opportunity. Sugawara launched the long throw. Edge of the 6-yard box. Touched too well to defend that, repel that opportunity. Ito. There is Tomiyasu again, playing as a right side centre half in a 3. Sano. Into Quentin Timber. Giving possession back to the Dutch, which the Japanese cannot afford right now. They need to be on the front foot. Japanese fans are finding a superb voice. Outsung the Dutch today. The fans have been great. The team has shown poise. Here's Aito. Is this the chance? Oh. In the end, fell to the wrong man on the pitch. Sugawara never on balance. And the effort was tame. Gee, the Japanese, they hold a lot of talent in this side. Here's Kamada. You almost think it's just played in Japan right now. Noise is deafening from those Japanese fans as his team He needs to charge forward. Sugawara just had that massive opportunity then. Fizzed in. Tomiyasu. Faneka as well. And Verbruggen can calmly collect that one. Here's that opportunity to cut back from Aito. A little bit behind Sugawara. Couldn't quite get his feet sorted, and as such, the attempt lacked a lot. Here's the attempts. 9-7, just in favour of the Dutch. So that is Ryan Gravenberch's day done. Nathan Ake is going to come on. It's another body behind the ball. Reinforcements. That's a sign of the Dutch holding on. So the Dutch responding to what the Japanese have done here in the last few moments. They're going to try and ride this one out. Moriyasu side look ready to go here. And Koeman says, we can do what you did in the first half, which is be robust, be hard to beat, sit that low block in. Kamada on the spin. Tomiyasu. Japan go from left to right here. Ito trying to flick it around the corner. To no avail. Kamada. Your head is dropping very deep here. In for Aito. Him and Ake battle away. And he'll win a corner there. Fantastic work from the right side man. Sugawara on the throw. Tomiyasu. Whipping the ball in. Which Van Dijk can get away. Memphis had no eyes for the ball. That's the easiest yellow card in the referee may give this tournament. That's a bad challenge. Ueda off. And Shogai on up top. So all the changes have been made by Moriyasu. Dealt by the Dutch defensively. De Jong almost ran himself into trouble. Memphis. The press for Japan now is there. That's a foul on Frankie de Jong. This is what we see in Asian qualifiers. This is what we see in the Asian Cup as well. Brian Brobby on now. Cody Gakpo. A big hold up centre forward. That will help them. He's going to be an absolute handful for this Japanese backline. Nice back pass. Van Dijk cleaning that one up. Shawbot doing some good pressing work there. Throw it in the Brobby direction. Look what he does. Fabulous hold-up play. Just a cross in. Suzuki collects and gets Japan going again. They've got 5 minutes to chase this one. Ito. And where's Sugawara? Kamada. Sano and Kamada have remained in midfield throughout this matchup. Showing great legs. Oh, tricky. Beautiful. Here's the chance. Oh, not put in. Ito. Stood it up. Van Dijk away. The Japan Avalanche is here. The Samurai Blue are on the charge. Sano. Tomiyasu with a great action. Foul by Cook Miners. What a game this one has been. Lived up to expectations. Had Brazil-Morocco yesterday. That was probably the most hyped game. This is probably second place. The quality of these two sides. Ito. Dealt with by Robbie. Nakamura now, the goal scorer. It's a dangerous ball. Oh, that's forwards there. Ito. Tomiyasu. Ito again. Memphis doing the defensive work here. Gets past in with ease. Now the Kamada. Maybe a corner kick. For Japan, I think the Dutch are too busy arguing with the referees right now than doing their defensive work. Japan are charging here. Ito doesn't beat the first man. Sugawara has to recycle this for Japan. Sano. Now with Nakamura. The substitutions have been forced to play a little bit deeper now. Sugawara, that's a great pass in behind. It's Ito. And great defensive action. It's still like Denzel Dumfries. Stop the cross. What a pass in behind if I need to. The Dutch are stumbling to the finish line here. The Japanese have not lost any fans in this one. Headed effort! Oh, it's in! Japan have equalised! What a header! Amagawa! Japan equalise! What a moment! This side never gives up. So much quality. They were 1-0 down. They drew level at 1-1. They were 2-1 down. And right at the end, Ogawa equalises. And they'll go and chase us for a win. What a header. Oh, it takes a touch of Kamada. Oh, it's taken a touch of Daichi Kamada. And it's gone in. Oh, and Verbruggen. See, I thought he stopped it initially. But he parried it into his own net. It's late, but it's great. For Japan. I thought it was Ogawa. It's going to be Daichi Kamada that's going to score it. I tell you what, they might get a winner here. The Netherlands have gone into save the game mode. And they've just allowed Japan to come alive here. The referee's gotten in amongst it there. We're back underway. We're ticking onto the 90th minute now. Look at this is the sound. I tell you what, there's a lot to do the Japanese fans there, but it seemed like the majority was orange. But we can hear other Japanese faithful. And the samurai blue comes again. And the Dutch they're quaking in their boots. They'll be lucky to escape this one with a point. Now we yellow card for Mickey van der Ven. They're going to have to hold on here. The Netherlands, because Japan in flow state. I think they win this, Japan. I really think they do. Ito again. He's been a handful. Ito. Just touch there from Van Acker. However, Bruggen has to send it up the pitch. Acker. They're paddling away in there and they've won the ball back. Sano. Kamada. Listen to the roar. Ronald Koeman might have shot his side and his country in the foot here. They went very defensive. They took off Somerville, took off Gakpo, and they've been made to pay here. Players like Coop Miners and Memphis coming on. It's no longer 2018. It's no longer 2022. It's 2026. They've been made to pay. Timber. Now the Netherlands on the football. Can they turn around this Japanese onslaught? Frankie de Jong. Back with de Jong. Dumfries. Headed effort over the crossbar by Coop Miners. The Japanese celebrating that one like a goal. There it is there. Ogawa. And the header just bounces off Kamada's head and into the back of the net. So the European champion, Kamada, with the important equaliser here late on for the Japan side. Dumfries. Nakamura with him every step of the way. They're going to touch on that cross so Suzuki can catch comfortably. I talked all about the African sides, the South American sides for this World Cup. Don't forget about the Asian sides. Australia beating Turkey. And then Japan now going toe-to-toe with the Dutch. Qatar tying up with Switzerland yesterday. Asian sides have been fantastic in the early moments of this World Cup. How deep they will go, we'll have to wait and see. But the first round of games, it's all about Asian brilliance. Once we've seen again here, and a fine display by Japan. Morocco are the African leaders, and they've shown that against Brazil. But Japan are the kings of Asia. And they've showed it here. They've showcased what Asian football is all about. An established European giant. Maybe a giant that has just fallen off its perch. But has been showing the quality of Asia today. Minute and a half to go in this one. What a second half. 4 goals. It might not be over just yet either. Van Dijk. Diagonal ball. For Denzel Dumfries, takes it in well off his chest. Timber. A cutback block by Ito. Japan get rid for the time being. Oh, and almost broken up by Ogawa there. Minute to play. De Jong. Tamaguchi gets that out. Van Ecke, the second. Memphis with a smooth first touch. Floated ball in. No one in the end of it. Mickey van der Ven, though, will chase that one in. His speed there. Pass for Memphis. Holding off Sano, but Sano got his foot in and won the ball. And they can get out here with Ito. And that might just do us that. Fair play, Japan. That is that. Wow, wow, we. Fair play, Japan. The fighting pride of Asia have shown their quality once again. What a second. We had a ball fest in the first 45. But to finish this game off, a second half that you wouldn't dream of missing. Virgil van Dijk headed Netherlands up 1-0 in the 51st minute. Nakamura with a screamer to equalise in the 57th minute. From there, Crescencio Somerville, I thought, had won it with a beautiful effort, the 64th. But then right at the end, they saved a late Japan. But another equaliser in the 89th minute. It was an Ogawa header that came off Daichi Kamada. And Japan get a point for this opener versus the Netherlands. There's a reason why most of us had them top of this group. It's because of this reason here. They are a very, very hard to beat side. Whenever they seem down and out, think again. Two apiece here. What a first game of our doubleheader. Stay tuned, guys. We're going live again in just under an hour's time for Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Great game here. It finishes two apiece between the Netherlands and Japan.